Om Parabrahmaya Vidmahe Shivatataya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodaya. Om Parabrahmaya Vidmahe Shivatataya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodaya. Om Parabrahmaya Vidmahe Shivatataya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodaya. Om Gam Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Gam Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Gam Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityormukshyamamrita. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityormukshyamamrita. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityormukshyamamrita. Om Haurim Bagla Mukhi Hum Fat Swaha. Om Haurim Bagla Mukhi Hum Fat Swaha. Om Haurim Bagla Mukhi Hum Fat Swaha. Om Shri Gurudeva Datta. Om Shri Gurudeva Datta. Om Shri Gurudeva Datta. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Shri Parabrahmane Namah. Om Shri Brahmane Namah. Om Shri Brahmane Namah. Om Shri Sai Nataya Namah. Om Shri Sai Nataya Namah. Om Shri Sai Nataya Namah. Om Parabrahmaya Vidmahe Shivatattvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodayat. Namaste and good evening, and welcome to today's reading of the Sai Sat Charitra. I will be reading chapter 27 from the Sai Sat Charitra, and this is about the favor shown by giving Bhagavat and Vishnu Sahasranam, as well as Dikshit Vital's vision, the Gita Rahasya, and about the Kapadyas. This chapter describes how Sai Baba favored his devotees by granting them religious books after he had touched and consecrated them for parayana, which is reading regularly, and certain other matters. When a man takes a plunge into the sea, he gets the merit of bathing in all the tirthas and the sacred rivers. Similarly, when a man takes refuge at the feet of the Satguru, he gets the merit of bowing to the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, and also Parabrahma. Victory be unto Sri Sai, the wish-fulfilling tree and the ocean of knowledge, who gives us self-realization. O Sai, create in us regard for your stories. Let the readers and the audience devour them with the same relish with which the chatak bird drinks the water from the clouds and becomes happy. While listening to your stories, let them and their families get all the sattvic emotions. Let their bodies perspire. Let their eyes be full of tears. Let their prana be steady. Let their minds be composed. Let their hair stand on end. Let them cry, sob, and shake. Let their hostilities and their distinctions great and small vanished. If these things happen, that is a sign of the grace of the Guru dawning upon them. When these emotions develop in you, the Guru is most pleased and will certainly lead you on to the goal of self-realization. The best way, therefore, to get free from the shackles of Maya is our complete and wholehearted surrender to Baba. The Vedas cannot take you across the ocean of Maya. It is only the Satguru who can do so and make you see the Lord in all creatures. Granting the consecrated book. The variety of imparting instructions followed by Baba has already been noticed in the previous chapters. In this, we shall deal with one aspect of it. It was the habit of some devotees to take some religious books, of which they wanted to make a special study to Baba, and to receive the same back from him after they were touched and consecrated by him. While reading daily such books, they felt that Baba was with them. Once, Kaka Mahajani came to Shirdi with a copy of Ekanati Bhagavat. Sharma took that book to read, and taking it with him went to the masjid. There Baba took it from him, touched it, and turning some pages here and there, gave it back to Sharma and asked him to keep it with him. When Sharma said that it belonged to Kaka and had to be returned to him, no, no, said Baba, as I have given it to you, better keep it with you for safe custody. It will be of use to you. In this way, many books were entrusted to Sharma. Kaka Mahajani, after some days, came back again with another copy of the same Bhagavat and gave it in Baba's hand. Then Baba gave it back as prasad and asked him to preserve it well and assured him that it would stand him in good stead. Kaka accepted it with a bow. Sharma and the Vishnu Sahasranam. Sharma was a very intimate devotee of Baba, and Baba wanted to favor him in a particular way by giving him a copy of the Vishnu Sahasranam as prasad. This was done in the following way. Once, a Ramadasi, who was the follower of Saint Ramadas, came to Shirdi, and he stayed for some time. The routine he followed daily was as follows. He got up early in the morning, washed his face, bathed, and then, after wearing saffron-colored clothes and besmearing himself with sacred ashes, read the Vishnu Sahasranam, a book giving 1,000 names in praise of Vishnu, and held second in importance to the Bhagavad Gita and Adhyatma Ramayana, the esoteric version of Rama's story. With faith, he read these books, and often then, after some days, Baba thought of favoring and initiating Sharma with Vishnu Sahasranam. He therefore called the Ramadasi to him and said to him that he was suffering from intense stomach pain, and unless he took Senapod, which is Sonamukhi, a mild purgative drug, the pain would not stop. So he should please go to the bazaar and bring the drug. The Ramadasi closed his reading and went to the bazaar. Then Baba descended from his seat. He came to the Ramadasi's place of reading, took out the copy of the Vishnu Sahasranam, and coming to his seat said to Sharma, "Oh, Sharma, this book is very valuable and efficacious, so I present it to you. You read it." Once I suffered intensely, and my heart began to palpitate, and my life was in danger. At that critical time, I hugged this book to my heart. And then, Sharma, what a relief it gave me. I thought that Allah Himself came down and saved me. So I give this to you. Read it slowly, little by little. Read daily, one name at least, and it will do you good, Sharma. Sharma replied that he did not want it, and that the owner of it, the Ramadasi, who was a mad, obstinate, and irritable fellow, would certainly pick a quarrel with him. Besides, being a rustic himself, he could not read distinctly the Sanskrit Devanagari letters of the book. Sharma thought that Baba wanted to set him up against the Ramadasi by this act of his, but he had no idea of what Baba felt for him. Baba must have thought to tie this necklace of Vishnu Sahasranam around the neck of Sharma as he was an intimate devotee, though a rustic, and thus save him from the miseries of the worldly existence. The efficacy of God's name is well known. It saves us from all sins and bad tendencies. It frees us from the cycles of birth and death. There is no easier sadhana than this. It is the best purifier of our mind. It requires no paraphernalia and no restrictions. It is so easy and so effective. This sadhana Baba wanted Shama to practice, though he did not crave for it. So Baba forced this on him. It also reported that long ago, Eknath Maharaj similarly forced this Vishnu Sahasranam on a poor Brahmin neighbor and thus saved him. The reading and study of this Vishnu Sahasranam is a broad, open way of purifying the mind, and hence Baba thrust this on his Shama. The Ramadasi returned soon to the Senapad. Anna Chinchanika, who was then present and who wanted to play the part of Narada, the celestial Rishi, who was well known for setting up quarrels between gods and demons and vice versa, informed him of what had happened. The Ramadasi at once flared up. He came down at once on Shama with all fury. He said that it was Shama who sent Baba to send him away under the pretext of a stomach ache for bringing the medicine, and thus got the book. Began to scold and abuse Shama. And then Shama remarked that if the book be not returned, he would dash his head before him. Shama calmly remonstrated with him, but in vain. Then Baba spoke kindly to him as follows: "O Ramadasi, what is the matter with you? Why are you so turbulent? Is not Shama our boy? Why do you scold him unnecessarily? How is it that you are so quarrelsome? Can you not speak soft and sweet words? You read daily these sacred books, and still your mind is impure and your passions uncontrolled. What sort of a Ramadasi are you? You ought to be indifferent to all things. Is it not strange that you should covet this book so strongly? A true Ramadasi should have no mamata attachment, but have samatha, equality towards all. You are now quarreling with the boy Shama for a mere book. Go take your seat. Books can be had in plenty for money, but not men. Think well and be considerate. What worth is your book?" Shama had no concern with it. I took it up myself and gave it to him. You know it by heart. I thought Shama might read it and profit thereby, so I gave it to him. How sweet were these words of Baba, soft, tender, and nectar-like. Their effect was wonderful. Ramadasi calmed down and said to Shama that he would take Panchratni Gita in return. Shama was much pleased and said, "Why one? I shall give you 10 copies in return." So the matter was ultimately compromised. Question for consideration is, why should the Ramadasi press for Panchratni Gita, the God in which he never ceased to know? And why should he, who daily read religious books in the masjid in front of Baba, quarrel with Shama before him? We do not know how to apportion the blame and whom to blame. We only say that had this procedure been not gone through, the importance of the subject, efficacy of God's name, and the study of the Vishnu Sahasranam would not have been brought home to Shama. So we see that Baba's method of teaching and initiating was unique. In this case, Shama did gradually study the book and mastered its content to such an extent that he was able to explain it to Professor G. G. Naik, M.A. of the College of Engineering, Pune, son-in-law of Sriman Bhuti and a devotee of Baba. Next is Vital's vision. One day, while Kaka Sahib Dixit was in meditation after his morning bath in his wada at Shirdi, he saw a vision of Vital. When he went to see Baba afterwards, Baba asked him, "Did Vital Patil come? Did you not see him? He is very elusive. Hold him fast. Otherwise, he will give you the slip and run away." Then at noon, a certain hawker came there. 20 or 25 pictures of Vital of Vandarpur for sale. Mr. Dixit was surprised to see that the form of Vital he saw in his meditation exactly tallied with that in the picture, and he was also reminded of Baba's words. He therefore bought one picture most willingly and kept it in a shrine for his worship. Next is the Gita Rahasya. Baba always loved those who studied Brahma Vidya, which is metaphysics, and encouraged them. To give an instance, once Bapu Sahib Jog received a post parcel. It contained a copy of Gita Rahasya by Lokmanya Tilak. Taking it under his armpit, he came to the masjid and prostrated himself before Baba. When the parcel fell at Baba's feet, Baba inquired what it was. It was opened then and there, and the book was placed in Baba's hand. He turned some pages here and there for a few minutes, took out a rupee from his pocket, placed it on the book, and handed the same with the rupee to Jog, and said to him, "Read this completely, and you will be benefited." Next is Mr. and Mrs. Kapadia. Let us close this chapter with the description of the Kapadia. Once Dada Saheb Kapadia came with his family and lived in Shirdi for some months. The diary of his stay has been published in English in the Sri Sai Leela magazine, the first volume. Dada Saheb was not an ordinary man. He was the richest and the most famous advocate of Amroti Birar, and he was a member of the Council of State in Delhi. He was very intelligent and a very good speaker. Still, he dared not open his mouth before Baba. Most devotees spoke and argued with Baba off and on, but only three, namely Kapada, Nulkar, and Bhuti, kept always silent. They were meek, modest, humble, and good-natured. Dada Sahib, who was able to expound Panchadashi, a well-known Sanskrit treatise on the Advaita philosophy by the famous Vidyaranya, to others, said nothing, or uttered no word when he came to the masjid before Baba. Really, a man, however learned he may be in the Vedas, fades away before one who has realized Brahman and become one with it. Learning cannot shine before self-realization. Dada Sahib stayed for 4 months, but Mrs. Kapote stayed for 7. Both were highly pleased with their Shirdi stay. Mrs. Kapote was faithful and devout and loved Baba deeply. Every noon she brought Nivedya herself to the masjid, and after it was accepted by Baba, she used to return and take her meals. Seeing her steadfast and firm devotion, Baba wanted to exhibit it to others. One noon she brought a dish containing sanza, which is wheat mood pudding, puris, rice, soup, and kheer, which is sweet rice, and other sundry articles to the masjid. Baba, who usually waited for hours, got up at once, went up to his dining seat, and removing the outer cover from the dish, began to partake of the things zealously. Sharma then asked him, "Why this partiality? You throw away dishes of others and do not care to look at them, but this you draw to you earnestly and do justice to it. Why is the dish of this woman so sweet? This is a problem to us." Baba then explained, "This food is really extraordinary. In a former birth, this lady was a merchant's fat cow yielding much milk. Then she disappeared and took birth in a gardener's family, then in a Kshatriya family, and married a merchant. Then she was born in a Brahmin family. I saw her after a very long time. Let me take some sweet morsels of love from her dish." Saying this, Baba did full justice to her dish, washed his mouth and hands, gave out some belches as a mark of satisfaction, and resumed his seat. Then she made a bow and began to shampoo Baba's leg, and Baba began to talk with her and knead her arms, which were shampooing his legs. On seeing this reciprocal service, Sharma began to joke and said, "It is going on well. It is a wonderful sight to see God and his Bhakta serving each other." After being pleased with her sincere service, Baba asked her in a low and fascinating tone to chant Raja Rama, Raja Rama, then and always, and said, if you do this, your life's object will be gained, your mind will attain peace, and you will be immensely benefited. To persons unfamiliar with spiritual matters, this might appear as an affair, but really it was not so. It was a case of is technically called Shaktipat, that is, transference of power from the Guru to the disciple. How forcible and effective were Baba's words. In an instant they pierced her heart and found lodgment there. This case illustrates the nature of the relation that should subsist between the Guru and the disciple. Both should love and serve each other as one. There is no distinction, nor any difference between them. Both are one, and one cannot live without the other. The disciple placing his head on the Guru's feet is a gross or outward vision. Really and internally, they are both one and the same. Those who see any difference between them are yet unripe and not perfect. Bow to Sri Sai, P. Chapter 28, and it's about the sparrows that are drawn to Shirdi. It's also about Lakamichan, the Burhanpur lady, and Mega. Sai is not finite or limited. He dwells in all beings, from ants and insects to the god Brahma. He pervades all. Sai was well versed in the knowledge of the Vedas, as well as in the science of self-realization. He was proficient in both these. He was well fitted to be the Satguru. Anyone, though learned, but not able to awaken the disciples and establish them in self-realization, does not deserve to be called a Satguru. Generally, the father gives birth to the body, and death invariably follows life. But Satguru does away with both life and death, and so he is more kind and more merciful than anybody. Sai Baba often said that let his man or devotee be at any distance, 1,000 kos away from him, he will be drawn to Shirdi like a sparrow with a thread tied to its feet. This chapter describes the stories of three such sparrows. Lala Lakat Chand. This gentleman was first serving in the railways and afterwards in Sri Venkateshwar Press in Bombay, and thereafter in the firm of Messrs. Raleigh Brothers as a munshi, which is a clerk. He got the contact of Baba in 1910, 1 or 2 months before Christmas. He saw in his dream at Santa Cruz, which is a suburb of Bombay, an old man with a beard, standing and surrounded by his bhaktas. Some day later, he went to the house of his friend, Mr. Dattatreya Manjunath Bijur, to hear the kirtan by Das Ganu. It was always the practice of Das Ganu to keep Baba's picture in front of the audience while making the kirtan. Lakamichan was surprised to see the features of the old man he saw in his dreams tallied exactly with those in the picture, and thus he came to the conclusion that the old man he saw in his dream was Sai Baba himself. The sight of this picture, Dasganu's kirtan, and the life of the Saint Tukaram on which Dasganu discoursed, all these things made a deep impression on his mind, and he pined to go to Shirdi. It is always the experience of the Bhaktas that God always helps them in search for Satguru and other spiritual endeavors. That very night at 8 p.m., a friend named Shankarao knocked at his door and asked him whether he would accompany him to Shirdi. His joy knew no bounds, and he at once decided to go to Shirdi. He borrowed 15 rupees from his cousin, and after making due preparations, left Shirdi in the train. He and his friend Shankarao did some bhajan and sang religious songs, and inquired about Sai Baba with some fellow passengers who were poor Mohammedans. They were returning to their place near Shirdi. They all told them that Sai Baba was a great saint living in Shirdi for many years. When they reached Kopragan, he wanted to buy some good guavas for offering to Baba. But he was so much enwrapped with the scenery and the sights there that he forgot to purchase them. When they were nearing Shirdi, he was reminded of the guavas. Just then he saw an old woman with a guava basket on her head, running after the tanga. The tanga was stopped, and he gladly purchased some select fruits. When the woman said, "Take all the rest and offer them on my behalf to Baba," the fact that he had intended to purchase guavas, but that he had forgotten to do so, and the old woman's encounter and her devotion to Baba, all these were a surprise to both the friends, and Lakamachand thought in his mind that the old woman might be some relation of the old man he saw in his dream. Then they drove on and came near Shirdi, and seeing the flags on the masjid, they saluted them. With puja materials in hand, they then went to the masjid and worshipped Baba with due formality. Lakshmichan was much moved and was extremely happy to see Baba. He was enwrapped with Baba's feet as a bee with the sweet smelling lotus. Then Baba spoke as follows: "Cunning fellow, he does bhajan on the way and inquires from others. Why ask others? Everything we should see with our own eyes. Where is the necessity to question others? Just think for yourself whether your dream is true or not. Where was the necessity of the darshan? By taking a loan from the Mawari, is the heart's desire now satisfied?" Hearing these words, Lakshmi was wonderstruck at Baba's omniscience. He was at a loss to know how Baba came to know about all the things that had happened. Others. Why ask others? Cunning fellow. He does bhajan on the way and inquires from others. Why ask others? Everything we should see with our own eyes. Where is the necessity to question others? Just think for yourself whether your dream is true or not. Where was the necessity of darshan by taking a loan from a Mawari? Is the heart's desire now satisfied? Hearing these words, Lakshmi was wonderstruck at Baba's omniscience. He was at a loss to know how Baba came to know about all the things that had happened en route from his house to Shirdi. The chief thing to note in this respect is that Baba never liked people to run into debt for taking his darshan, or celebrating any holiday, or making any pilgrimage. Next is Sanza. At noon, when Lakamishan was sitting for meals, he got some sanza, which is a wheat pudding, from a devotee as prasad. He was pleased to have it. Next day, he also expected, but got nothing. So he was anxious to get it again. Then on the third day at the noon arti, Bapu Sahib Jog asked Baba what navedya he should bring. Baba told him to bring sanza. Then the Bhaktas brought two big potfuls of sanza. Lakshmi Chand was very hungry, and there was some pain in his back. Then Baba said to him, "It is good that you are hungry. Take sanza and some medicine for the pain in the back." He was again wonderstruck to see that Baba again read his mind and spoke out what was passing therein. How omniscient was he, the evil eye. On this occasion, he once witnessed one night the procession to Shavadi. Baba then suffered much from a cough. He thought that this suffering of Baba might be due to somebody's evil eye. Next morning, when he went to the masjid, Baba spoke to Shama as follows: "I suffered last night from cough. Is it due to some evil eye? I think that somebody's evil eye has worked on me, and so I am suffering." In this case, Baba spoke out what was passing in Lakshman's mind. On seeing these proofs of Baba's omniscience and kindness to his bhaktas, he fell prostrate at Baba's feet and said, "I am much pleased with your darshan. Ever be kind and merciful to me, and protect me always. There is no other God to me in this world except your feet. Let my mind be ever wrapped in your bhajan and feet. Let your grace protect me from the miseries of the world. and let me ever chant your name and be happy. After getting Baba Udi and blessing, he returned home with his friend, much pleased and contented, and singing Baba's glory on the way. He remained a staunch devotee of Baba afterward, and always sent garlands of flowers, camphor, and dakshina with any person of his acquaintance that was bound for Shirdi, the Burhanpur lady. Now let us turn to another sparrow, Baba's word meaning for devotee. One lady in Burhanpur saw in her dreams Sai Baba coming to her door and begging khichdi, which is rice cooked with dal and salt, for his meal. On awakening, she saw nobody at her door. However, she was pleased with the vision and told it to all, including her husband. He was employed in the postal department, and when he was transferred to Akola, both husband and wife, who were devout, decided to go to Shirdi. Then, on a suitable day, they left for Shirdi after visiting Gomati Tirth. On the way, reaching Shirdi and stayed there for 2 months. Every day they went to the masjid, performed Baba's worship, and passed their time happily. The couple came to Shirdi to offer Kichadi as Navedya, but for the first 14 days, somehow or other, it could not be offered. The lady did not like this delay. Then on the 15th day, she came at noon to the masjid with her Kichadi. There she found that Baba and others were already sitting for meals, and that the curtain was down. Nobody dared to enter in when the curtain was let down, but the lady could not wait. She threw up the curtain with her hand and entered. Strange to say, that Baba seemed that day hungry for khichdi and wanted that thing first. When the lady came in with the dish, Baba was delighted and began to eat morsel after morsel of khichdi. On seeing the earnestness of Baba in this respect, everybody was wonderstruck, and those who heard the story of the khichdi were convinced about his extraordinary love for his devotees. Next one is Mega. Now let us go to the third and biggest sparrow. Mega of Viramgaon was a simple and illiterate Brahmin cook of Rao Bahadur, H.B. Sati. He was a devotee of Shiva and always chanted the five-syllable mantra, Namah Shivaya. He did not know the Sandhya nor its chief mantra, the Gayatri. Rao Bahadur Sati was interested in him and got him taught the Sandhya and the Gayatri. Sati told him that Sai Baba of Shirdi was the embodied form of the god Shiva and made him start for Shirdi. At the Broach railway station, he learned that Sai Baba was a Muslim, and his simple and orthodox mind was much perturbed at the prospect of bowing to a Muslim, and he prayed to his master not to send him there. His master, however, insisted on his going there and gave him a letter of introduction to Sati's father-in-law, Ganesh Damodar, alias Dada Kalka, at Shirdi, to introduce him to Sai Baba. When he reached Shirdi and went to the masjid, Baba was very indignant and would not allow him to enter. Kick out the rascal, roared Baba, and then said to Mega, you are a high caste Brahmin and I am a low Muslim. You will lose your caste by coming here, so get away. Hearing these words, Mega began to tremble. He was wondering as to how Baba had come to know about what was passing in his mind. He stayed there for some days, serving Baba in his own way, but was not convinced. Then he went home. After that, he went to Triambak in the Nasik district and stayed there for a year and a half. Then again, he returned to Shirdi, this time at the intercession of Dada Kalkar. He was allowed to enter the masjid and stay in Shirdi. Sai Baba's help to Mega was not through any oral instruction. He worked upon Mega internally, mentally, with the result that he was considerably changed and benefited. Then Mega began to look upon Sai Baba as an incarnation of Shiva. In order to worship Shiva, bell leaves are required, and Mega used to go miles and miles every day to bring them and worship his Shiva Baba. His practice was to worship all the gods in the village and then come to the masjid and after saluting Baba's gadi, he worshipped Baba. After doing some service, shampooing his leg, drank the washings, tears of Baba's feet. Once it so happened that he came to the masjid out worshipping God Kandoba. At the door of the temple was closed. Baba did not accept his worship and sent him again, saying that the door was open. And then Mega went, found the door open, worshipped the deity, and then returned to Baba as usual. The Ganges Bath. On one Makar Sankranti day, Mega wanted to besmear the body of Baba with sandal paste and bathe him with Ganges water. Baba was first unwilling to undergo this operation, but at his repeated request, consented. Mega had to traverse a distance of 8 kos, going and returning, to bring the sacred water from the Gomati river. He brought the water, made all the preparations for the bath at noon, and asked Baba to get ready for the same. Then Baba again asked him to be freed from this bath, saying that as a fakir he had nothing to do or gain with Ganga water. But Mega did not listen. He knew that Shiva is pleased with the bath of Ganga water, and that he must give his Shiva Baba that bath on that auspicious day. Baba then consented, came down, and sat on a pot with the wooden board. Protruding his head, said, "O Mega, do at least this favor. Head is the most important organ of the body, so pour the water over that only. It is equivalent to the full or whole bath." "All right," said Mega, and lifting the water pot up, began to pour it on the head. But in doing this, he was so much overwhelmed with love that he cried out, "Har Ganga," and emptied the pot on the whole body. He kept the pot aside, began to look at Baba, but to his surprise and amazement, he found that Baba's head was only drenched, but the body quite dry. The trident and pindi. Mega worshipped Baba in 2 places. In the masjid, he worshipped Baba in Persian, and in the wada, Baba's big picture, given by Nana Sahib Chandorkar. This he did for 12 months. Then, in order to appreciate his devotion and confirm his faith, Baba gave him a vision. Early one morning, when Mega was still lying down on his bed, with eyes closed but internally awake, he clearly saw Baba's form. Baba, knowing him to be awake, threw akshata, with the rice grains marked red with kumkum, and said, "Mega, draw a trident," and he disappeared. Hearing Baba's words, he eagerly opened his eyes, but did not see Baba, but saw only rice grains spread here and there. He then went to Baba and told him about the vision, and asked permission to draw the trident. Baba said, "Did you not hear my words asking you to draw the trident? It was no vision, but a direct order, and my words are always pregnant with meaning and never hollow." Mega said, "I thought you woke me up, but all the doors were closed, so I thought it was a vision." Baba rejoined, "I require no door to enter. I have no form nor any extension. I always live everywhere. I carry on as a wire puller all the actions of the man who trusts me and merges in me." Mega returned to the wada and drew a red trident on the wall near Baba's picture. Next day, a Ramadasi Bhakta came from Pune. He saluted Baba and offered him pindi, which is an image of Shiva. At this time, Mega also turned up there. Baba said to him, "See, Shankar has come, protected. That is, worship him now." Mega was surprised to see Pindi following the trident immediately. Then also in the wada, Kaka Sahib Dixit was standing with a towel on his head after having taken his bath, and was remembering Sai when he saw Pindi before his mental vision. While he was wondering about this, Mega came and showed him the Pindi, presented to him by Baba. Dixit was happy to know that the Pindi exactly tallied with the one he saw a few minutes before in his vision. In a few days after the drawing of the trident was complete, Baba installed the Pindi near the big picture, which was worshipping. The worship of Shiva was dear to Megha, and by arranging the drawing of the trident and the installation of the pindi, Baba confirmed faith therein. Of continuous service of Baba for many years, doing regular worship and arti every noon and evening, Megha passed away in 1912. Then Baba passed his hands over his corpse and said, "This was a true devotee of mine." Baba also ordered that at his own expense the usual funeral dinner should be given to the Brahmins, and this order was carried out by Kaka Sahib Dixit. Half to Shri Sai, peace be to all. Om Parabrahmaya Vidmahe Shivatatpaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodaya. Om Shri Sai Nataya Nama. Om Shri Sai Nataya Nama. Om Shri Sai Nataya Nama.